2024 regular town board meeting call to order at 7:04. Crystal, could you please read the roll?
Councilmember Jack Russo.
Here.
Councilmember Gray.
Here.
Councilmember Mora.
Here.
Supervisor Esposito.
Present. Also present is our attorney, Rob Coleman, is going in for Gerard tonight. And Jim is still out sick. I think he's on his way back from Boston right now. He had to go back out for some other tests, so we still wish him a speedy recovery, and let's all pray for him. Okay, could we all stand for the invocation?
Father God, we come before you tonight asking for your wisdom, knowledge, and discernment for those representing us to know your will for Princetown. We ask your peace and unity that only you can give. Thank you for working your will in our town. Bless those who represent us and their families. We pray as your word says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. We declare this for our town. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Will you remain standing for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Chris, do we have anything on the highway? I don't think so.
There was nothing. I guess I'll go.
Yeah, there is, but we'll get into it after. Water. April 2024, gallons pumped 1,573,600, maximum daily use of 74,400, minimum daily use of 30,100, daily average 52,500. We had the following water main breaks, none, okay. Work done, completed classes for CEU. That's his annual training that he has to go through. Sampling water was done, parts were ordered, general maintenance performed, respectfully submitted, report. There is a report here, I think, on his, is there a report he gave us on the water, Crystal?
We didn't make copies of them, but I can make everybody a copy if you want them.
You want a copy? No?
No, just the water testing report. You met.
Okay. Code enforcement, we don't have anything from Tom. He got locked out of his computer tonight, and he can't get a hold of our IT guy, so I guess we're not gonna get a report from him. And we do have a report from our judge, so the monthly report for April is $7,311. The court has been receiving quite a few more tickets. The last few months, 130 tickets were received for the month of April, and so far in May, we have received 150. Most of these tickets were on I-88 and many were on Iowa Road. The courtroom has been filled the last 2 months, and our criminal calendar is also busy. Any questions on Michelle's?
No.
Ben?
No.
Okay. Do we have anything from the assessor?
We do. It's quite one thing. Want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read it. Listen.
To the Princetown Town Board from John Bonanno, SCAA, the Assessor's Office update. The assessment cycle. The assessment cycle begins each year on March 1st. New York State real property tax law requires all exemptions to be filed with the Assessor's Office by March 1st of each year. For senior, low-income, enhanced, star, and agricultural exemptions, we send renewal forms to the property owners. These notices are followed up by phone calls to remind the owners to file before March 1st. All exemptions have been updated on the town assessment records. Also, all new construction has been valued and updated. According to New York State real property tax law, all property owners whose assessments are increased during the assessment cycle must be notified by mail of the increase. In addition, information pertaining to grievance day and how to contact the assessor to discuss any assessment questions is provided on the notice. This year, 58 parcels had an increase in their 2024 tentative assessments. Grievance day this year is May 28th between the hours of 4 and 8 p.m. The assessor requires all applications, the RP 524, for the Board of Assessment review of assessment complaints to be in the assessor's office by May 24th. Once the BAR makes their determination, the tentative assessment roll is updated and the final assessment roll is produced by July 1st. The first time the new assessments are used will be in September 2024 to produce the school tax bills. For new construction, the assessor's office continues to work with the town's building inspector during the year to ensure that all improvements are updated on the computer system and that assessments are adjusted as required. For the assessor to keep the town's assessment files up to date, it is imperative that the building department supplies information in a timely fashion. During my field work checking on new construction, I found a significant improvement owned by LS Power Development that had not been reported to the assessor's office. Upon investigation, I found that the company had not reported any improvements to the state or the town. I'm still working on identifying the total amount of improvements, but it's looking to be over $75 million to be added to the assessment roll. I can't stress enough the importance of the town's building and planning board alerting the assessor's office of any improvements being made in the town so the assessment files can be kept up to date. Office hours, there is office staffing Monday through Wednesday during normal business hours. The assessor is in the office on Monday mornings or by appointment. The assessor can also be reached anytime at 518-852-8513 or by email at masllc05@gmail.com.
That was the solar power, right? No, that's the one that was.
Okay, any questions? Ben?
No.
Crystal, you might as well read your report.
Go first. Okay, so we have finished our 2024 tax collection season at the town. The total 2024 town tax warrant was for $2,191,342.45. The total paid to the town was $579,302.63. The total paid to Schenectady County Finance was $1,368,248.72. There was $133,804.35, which was collected to the county for Public Service Corporation tax bills that are in the town. There were 44 parcels that were unpaid to the town at the end of our collection, and they were turned over to Schenectady County for further collection, totaling $109,986.75. The board has been provided with a copy of the unpaid list tonight in your packet. There was an additional $7,481.14 of extra funds collected by the town this year. That included $3,183.88 in late payment penalties and $3,748.31 that we earned in interest for the tax collector account. There was also the $548.95 pilot agreement payment that we get from Pattersonville Solar made in lieu of property taxes. Also have an announcement that Schenectady County is going to be holding a rabies vaccination clinic on Saturday, June 8th at the Glenville Senior Citizen Center. It's by appointment between 10 a.m. and noon. Registration is open now. It began the 10th. And you can register online or call Schenectady County Public Health at 518-386-2818 with questions.
Crystal, did you say how much money you got from that solar?
Yep, the pilot agreement is $548.95 a year.
And the check was for how much?
That was for the pilot agreement. That's not the host agreement.
No, the host agreement.
I don't know how much the host agreement check was off the
30,000,
top of
some
my
odd
head.
dollars?
It's 30.
Isla took that one in. That's not tax related.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Crystal? All right, Ben, we skipped you, but you're up.
We had a dog barking complaint that was on Skyline. I went over and talked to the owner, and she agreed that she's going to leave the dog inside during the work days. And she's going to try to get some kind of a vibrate collar to get it to stop barking so much. The other incident was on Reynolds Road. Once again, 2 dogs this time instead of 1. We had 1 the previous. I took to the shelter that was emaciated and possibly just dumped on Reynolds. And had another call for 2 this time They looked and appeared the same, very thin, and they had quite a few sores on their bodies. And the person that reported it said that he heard a car, it was during the night, around 9 o'clock. A car had gone by, heard it stop, heard the door close, and then moments later the two dogs appeared. So it could be somebody out of, probably the biggest concentration of people up that way is at the lake. And if they're coming down through there, or they're coming through the back way on Dennison Road, which is basically a dirt road that goes between Dennison and Reynolds. But the last dog was euthanized. Nobody claimed it, so we were billed for that. And it's quite possible that the next two dogs, we're going to wind up having to absorb the cost of the two for the shelter for 5 days. State police know about it. Don't have any clue as to who's doing it or why. But it's one of those things that's kind of ongoing. We'll see what happens with it. That's it.
Yeah, I know, and people are just leaving their dogs off in our town now, and then they got to be euthanized. And what the last one cost us, Crystal? $350?
$375.
$375 that we have to pay for it. And there's two more, you said?
Two more. Either somebody's got or somebody hoarding dogs, or somebody that's got a screw loose up there that's, abusing dogs and then dumping them off. I don't know. We've had some really strange issues. We had a couple of dogs who were found dead by the troopers, and this was within a mile and a half. One was on Pangburn Road at the bridge, and then the other was down on Kelly Station Road, and they're both perfect dump-off sites for somebody to just pull off the car and take a dead dog and drop it and make it appear as though it just died naturally. And they're all like pit bull style dogs. They all kind of have that same pit bull mix to them. The only one that didn't this last time was that he had a Boston Terrier mix, and the other was a Bull Terrier. So the troopers know about all the incidents, and they have investigators, I think, that are not sure what's going on with it, but it's kind of hard to tell who's doing it. If it's the same person or not, and it probably is. So.
Instead of taking the dogs to the animal shelter, they just leave them on. I guess that's what's going on in this country today, so. Okay, anything else?
No, that'll do it.
You got any questions for me? Ben? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Everything's been quiet about building and grounds now. We are going into executive session after to discuss a lease agreement with the state police. Their lease has been out for a while now. So that's all I have right now. But, I don't know if anybody knows what happened over here in the town this last Saturday. Doug does, but they damaged 33 mailboxes in the town, ran over them, and they went up as far as Settles Hill or up on Schoharie Turnpike. Schoharie Turnpike, but I understand they got caught. Good. Little trail cam caught them, I guess. So, but they ran over mine, did a lot of damage because I had a steel plate in the ground, and they knocked it over, and it was in concrete, so they must have damaged their vehicle an awful lot. I don't know if anybody filed a complaint, but I did. So. Okay, any questions? All right, moving on, public hearings, we have none. Resolutions. Meeting minutes. It is hereby resolved the meeting minutes of April 9, 2024, regular town board meeting are approved or as amended. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second? I'll make it. Crystal?
Councilmember Jack Russo.
Yes.
Councilman Gray.
Yes.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito.
Yes, resolution passes. Groundskeeper appointment. Be it resolved that the town board hereby appoints Michael, how do you pronounce his name?
Alarossi.
Alarossi, to provide lawn care services to the Provincetown at a rate of $28 per hour, with a term to expire 12/31/2024. 12/31/2024. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Crystal?
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Gray? Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Moratorium extension, this is over the solar that we're extending it. We didn't have the meeting, Ben couldn't make it that night, so we postponed it. So we're gonna have to put the extension on. Let's see. Is hereby resolved, the town board approves the extension of the moratorium on solar farm use for a period of 2 months. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Crystal?
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. What, do we have it in here, what day we're gonna have that,
I emailed everybody, so,
I put it in council member comments for us to set a date.
it's in
We
there,
want to do
Crystal?
that now. Yeah, I mean, it's in the agenda to do it later, or we can do it now, it's up to you.
Let's do it now, get it over with. Where is it on there?
Just in council member comments, we didn't have a resolution.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't think
What date, what date you wanna go?
Is the 23rd okay?
What day is it falling?
Thursday.
It's on there.
This May?
The 23rd. The insurance company's coming over to assess the building, but that's in the morning, so. Do it, yeah, that's fine with me. 6 o'clock, good?
Is that okay for you?
I thought, as a committee, we should be having a meeting and finalize everything before we give that, turn it over to the town board.
Yeah, so Crystal had sent that document to everybody with everything that we had talked about. And,
That's why we need another meeting.
right, well, you know, so we had emailed that if you wanted to make any changes, just to let us know, and we would, you know, fix it all. So it's up to you, you know, if they want to have another meeting.
Well, we wanna have another meeting to discuss it with the rest of the
So
town.
I think his point is he's not happy with the document.
Yes.
You still wanna present it to the town.
Yeah,
board.
so what? So we'll look at it.
So I think he's saying, like, he wants to work on it a little bit more.
I just, you're giving a document with, the back half of it that the committee didn't go over.
That was the, I think I know what you're talking about. That's
Well,
like
if
the
that's something
overlay
that-
district
but
stuff that we
that's-
never talked
But
about.
that's something that
It's the
we
host
should be
agreement.
discussing at a committee meeting.
It's our host agreement, but we didn't discuss any changes. That's just how it is written currently. We didn't look at that as a committee, you're correct. That was something that the town attorney had drafted up, the host agreement for Patterson Post.
So that's not even part of our solar law.
That's not part of the photo law.
No.
Doug Cole had put it in there when he printed us a copy. That's fine.
So you wanna have another meeting then?
I-
Committee meeting before?
I think we need to.
Yeah, well, if it's the host agreement stuff, that's separate.
It's
That
not.
could just be cut off.
Well, it's up to you guys. You don't wanna.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants another meeting, we'll have another meeting.
What day you want it on?
Well, it don't matter, that's their meeting.
Yeah, I know, well, I'm just asking them so that they,
Well, they don't wanna do it before the 23rd is too soon for you guys, what
Yeah.
you're saying,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Have to go the week after that.
do it the week before the 23rd then.
That's this week. I can't meet tomorrow, I can't meet Thursday.
Can you meet on Saturday?
But, well, why don't we have the meeting with the town board the next week, the last week.
Like the
of May.
30th?
The last week of May, yeah. You're doing a 2-month moratorium, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we already did it.
You're extending it for 2 months. It previously expired June 12th, so if you're doing it for 2 more months, you now have till August 12th.
Because you have to have time for a public hearing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you have a solar committee that was appointed that hasn't had a chance to finish what they started.
it's up to you. It's your,
Man,
I don't mind meeting. If he wants to meet, we can meet. Can you meet the 23rd then? Not with the board, but,
Yeah.
does that work for
Yeah.
you? Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul's not here, so.
so we won't have, that won't be with the town board then.
no.
Okay. When you want to do it, the following week for the town board?
Yeah.
What day is good for you?
6 o'clock?
6 is good?
6 is fine, yeah.
That week, I mean, I can meet Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
What, the last week?
Yeah.
I don't know, pick a day, it don't matter.
No matter, Thursdays is their planning board meeting.
Right,
So maybe Tuesday?
which is,
28th?
Yeah.
okay.
28th, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That good, Jack?
Good for me.
Okay. That's what it is, then. You want the attorney there?
So I think maybe after we're done, you know, yes, it should be looked at. Do you want the attorney there? I don't think we need it at this point, or the engineer.
If we're only gonna have one
We're
more
gonna have
meeting,
the attorney here at the
we can,
town board meeting.
Mhm.
That's right.
We're not doing anything illegal, so why can't the attorney look it over after we're done?
Yeah, I think that's probably common practice anyway, so.
Okay. You got the dates down
Yeah.
there? And the times?
Yeah.
It's good with you?
That's 28.
Yeah,
28. What is it, Tuesday?
yeah, it's Tuesday.
Okay.
and we're meeting at 6?
6 PM for both, right? Is that-
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just to recap, Thursday, May 23rd at 6 PM is the solar committee meeting. Tuesday, May 28th at 6 PM is the meeting with the town board.
Okay. You're both at 6.
Perfect.
Okay. We good then, Don?
Yeah.
Okay. I might add that when we have this meeting with the town board, there are no privileges of the floor at that point, or with the committee meetings.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, general funds claim. Is hereby resolved that the town board approves claims number 79 through 97, the amount of $22,305.38. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Bristol?
Councilman Jack
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yeah.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Water fund claims. Is hereby resolved that the town board approves claim number 30 through 41 in the amount of $14,559.57. Discussion?
I'll make
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Crystal?
Councilman Jack
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Trust and agency fund claims. Is hereby resolved the town board approves claim number 4 through 5 in the amount of $15,783.75. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Crystal?
Councilman Jack
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Highway funds claim. Is hereby resolved the town board approves claim number 4 in the amount of $2,025. Discussion? This is for Overlook, wasn't it?
Yep,
This is
plowing
for
and
plowing of
salt.
Overlook Drive this past year. And it was just in one road.
I'll make the
Is there a second?
second.
Crystal?
Councilman Jacusa?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. It is hereby resolved the town board approves the claim of $2,025 from the general fund to the highway fund to cover voucher number 4. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Crystal?
Councilman Jacusa?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Privilege of the floor. At every scheduled town board meeting, the public shall have the right to address the town board during the meeting referred to as privilege of the floor. Members of the public should restrict their comments to items of town business, although there is no official time constraint. Speakers should be considerate of others so that all interested members of the public have an opportunity to be heard. There shall be one portion of the meeting dedicated to privilege of the floor. At each meeting, all remarks and questions shall be addressed to the board. No person shall enter into discussion with the person having the floor. Council members may address any comments during the portion of the meeting referred to as council member comments. Just remember, board, we don't engage in conversation. It's their turn to speak. We don't get into conversations with them. Privilege of the floor is opened up at 7:30.
Jennifer Blessing, 1237 Gifford Church Road.
We know who you are.
Yeah, two things. Number one, I don't know where your committee, solar committee meets, but the 23rd is our planning meeting. That's the fourth Thursday of the month, so we will be in here at 7 o'clock. All right, secondary. Last month, I have a question, and I'm hoping somebody will answer it during the council member comments and discussion. You just appointed Michael Calarossi as the lawn care person, yet he was paid last month out of the water department budget. I'm curious as to how he got paid when he was not an employee yet, but also is doing groundwork and got paid out of the water department budget. Thank you.
I can't speak that, I know if you talk to Rick, it's my understanding he just started mowing, but I don't know how long he's been mowing now.
We'll have to get back to you on that.
Well, as far as I'm aware, he hasn't been appointed to anything in the water department unless I missed it.
He was appointed a water operator.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was the organizational meeting or the one right after.
How she paid.
What's that?
We'll have to talk with Iowa about how she paid.
And ask Rick on his timesheet. whether,
Yes.
you know.
Okay. Any others?
My name, she's happy. My name is Bob Duchesne from Rennerscorners Road. I've been there since 1962, and they had mobile homes in the area, and most of the people have gone into some nicer homes. They've done a lot of work to improve the area. And just recently, I was talking to a gentleman that lived next door to what appears to be a junkyard. I have pictures I would like to show you people. They claim this man has come from Mayfield, New York, and he's got a camping trailer with one of the shipping containers out in the front of it. I do believe he's in violation of all town's ordinances, and we kind of like to see it cleaned up. It seems like the people are kind of afraid to even talk about it, because they don't know who this person is. Well, I've lived there too long to see what's happened in this little community of ours. We have fought the landfill issue years ago. The folks that got all involved in the solar. And I have one more question about the solar. Now, when they rezoned the town of Princetown to 100%, we had gotten information from people in Union College that they have set the assessment forms, and they claim that how they assess your properties, everybody's property, wherever it is. and they do assess it by your view, your roads, type of house, blah, 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 contour, etc. Is there going to be taken into effect any considerations for the taxpayers to find out just how much assessment that was on these forms, to have them kind of change, because there's a lot of solar fields coming about, which we know, and it seems like wintertime, you can look across the valley from Ranch Corners Road, see 150 acres of it, and I'm just kind of wondering if there's anything that anybody knows about this assessment form, just how much percentage of your assessed valuation is involved in that. I know that was years and years ago, but now we're running into all kinds of problems, which I know you folks know every day. And so that's basically my questions. Now, I do have some pictures I'd like to give the town board. May I address the bench?
Yeah, sure.
You may keep these, or you may give them back, whatever you want. If you want to pass them down, you can see there's the man has one of those big shipping containers, big bar hanging off the end, off the roof. The pictures are not too good because you don't dare go on anybody's property to take pictures. These are pictures from the road. And there is a camping trailer behind the shipping container with a space between them that was just like maybe it's plywood, but there was all kinds of slab wood piled up against it just to hold the plastic in place during the winter time. So we've had a lot of comments from the people living on our road. See, I'm the oldest one there. They always come to my house. I don't want to be involved in it. So we're fed up. So we hope, and that property had belonged to Tommy Verini, and he let it go for taxes. The gentleman next door tried to buy it. He could not outbid the new bidder, which is his people. And the man had told me all this. I asked him if he had contacted anybody from the town board, and he said no, because he's getting out of here. He took a transfer because the man worked for Target in Amsterdam. He went south to the Carolinas. So that's where we're getting our information from. So I hope you folks can do something to clean it up down there. It's getting messy. Thank you very much.
I'll address that under council members' comments. I already know all of it, so we'll address that. Thank you. Any others?
Good evening. Judy Drislane from Rhinex Corners Road. I'm here with neighbors, both from Princetown and from Rotterdam, to make you aware of our concerns about what has and has not happened in the Solar Review Committee coming Rotterdam Princetown proposal by ELP. We are working together to urge you to stop solar sprawl in the town of Princetown. I personally have concerns, among others, about soil disturbance from construction and operation of the facility, creating problems with my well. I am 1,000 feet or less directly downhill from the construction site, and that is across the road in the town of Rotterdam, but I live in the town of Princetown. And I know this is a concern because I received a letter from Environmental Design and Research of Syracuse asking me for a well survey, so I could show where the wells on my property are located, what they're used for, what their current condition is, which also indicates to me that I should be getting a well test before any of this possibly takes place. Another concern is I really want to keep our area rural residential and not have the blight of another 20 megawatt solar farm looming our scenic area. I moved here just over 20 years ago, and I moved here because it was rural. I'm concerned about the clear cutting of over 100 acres and the impact that that could have on the wildlife, the wetlands, the runoff coming off the top of the hill and along the side of Rhinex Corners. I'm also concerned that our roadways are not currently designed to handle this kind of commercial traffic. I walk Rhinex Corners almost every day with my roads. It's not pleasant when a major truck goes by. If we're gonna have this ongoing for any length of time, I'm really concerned about the safety of the people who live there, including myself. Now, the last time I was here and I spoke before this group, I was assured, as we all were, that the project that was proposed at the time, or possibly being proposed at the time in Princetown, could never get off the ground because there were no transmission lines for anyone to connect to. Well, I would ask, how many of the town board members were at the April 17th meeting down in Rotterdam Junction put on by ELP? How many of you were at the April 27th meeting where all the neighbors got together down in Pattersonville to talk about the proposal that is being put forth by ELP Rotterdam, now known in their own papers as ELP Rotterdam Princetown? If you had been at those meetings, you would know that that proposal is about to be put forth to Oris. They have the transmission lines. They are on the Rotterdam side. They plan to connect right through, across the road, on both sides of Rhinex Corners where they can. If you haven't seen the maps, I urge you to go on to the website that they have and take a very close look at it. I also urge the Solar Review Committee to make sure that our solar code is very strong, because ELP Rotterdam Princetown will rely on the code that we currently have. And if it's not strong enough to protect the residents of the town, then it will end up being used against us. And I don't just mean the residents who live there. I also include the residents who want to lease their properties or sell properties to solar companies. But bear in mind that the Princetown resident who wants to lease properties, I have heard from 3 separate sources, has already purchased property in another town and plans on moving. So that will no longer be a concern of anyone here. I ask that the Solar Review Committee do your very best to protect the residents of the town. I want to make sure that the code protects the residents, and I recommend that if you don't have a code that you're comfortable with and that everyone is willing to take a look at and accept, that you take a look at the code that Rotterdam has put forth, because it's a lot more comprehensive than our current code. But be aware, if you haven't, drive down Rhinex Corners, take a look at all the signs that are against solar farms right now. Not individual solar panels, but major solar farms. Things that are going to impact our way of life and not for the better. Thank you.
Any others?
My name is Terry Phillips. I'm from Montgomery County. I've been here for 3 years talking to you guys about the Brooks Solar Array. They are just about done doing construction. A year ago, we had a meeting with CS Energy, their engineers. They agreed to move a ditch back that was causing problems on our property. That has not been done yet. We are at a loss, and apparently when they cut trees down, they don't need to replace them because there's not a house or a road on that side of the property. So I'm talking the west side of the property that backs up to ours. And I want to know what you guys are going to do about the ditch, because it's pretty soon it's going to be your cost and your expense to put it back.
Any others?
Robbie Lennon, Rhinex Corners Road. I do agree with everything that Judy said, and I live right next to where the solar arrays are proposed. And I do agree that last fall, when we started discussing the solar arrays, we were told by Lou Esposito that don't worry about it, there's no power lines nearby. Well, now we're connected with Rotterdam where they have the power lines. And then we were told by one of the board members that Rotterdam is none of our business. Well, Radix Corners Road divides, if you guys don't know this, Princetown and Rotterdam. So we are very concerned, and Bolton, you should as well be concerned with what's going on with Rotterdam. I just feel like it's out of sight, out of mind, nobody cares about it. None of you live up near there, you didn't attend any of the meetings. We even had people from Rotterdam who attended, board members from Rotterdam that attended the meetings, but no one from Princetown. It's just crickets, and I just, I really don't believe anything anyone's saying. We have the solar committee. I attended the meetings, you can't say anything. Why, I don't understand why it's not open to the public when it's the public who's being affected. And I am also concerned that the people who are ahead of these solar, the companies, that we met with are MBAs. These people are brilliant, they're from Harvard, they're MIT, and they're moving on to other areas of the country, and they're just gonna run over anything that you propose or into law. So I really do hope that the laws are gonna be put forth and be able to protect the residents of Princetown. And we're supposed to be a rural area. I've been living here for over 30 years. And I really hope you do your best for the residents of our town. That's it.
Any others?
Hi, Nancy Byrill from Peaceful Acres Horses. We're a not-for-profit organization located in the town of Princetown and also in Rotterdam. My upper farm is in the town of Rotterdam and will be not too far from 100 acres that will be clear-cut out of several hundred acres associated with the Rotterdam project with ELP. What will that do to all the animals that live in that area? Well, I'm an animal lover, I got a rescue sanctuary, right? So I am concerned about what's gonna happen environmentally there. But I'm also concerned about my neighbors. I'm concerned about my business. I'm concerned about the elderly and also the children on Radix Corners Road. The big trucks that are gonna be up and down that road for a period of 16 months or longer to clear cut what's gonna be the Rotterdam side of the project. And also the amount of solar panels for a 20 megawatt project to go right along the road on pasture land that used to be hay fields for my horses and had pasture for animals from the 1800s. Part of the farm that is being proposed is the sister farm to my farm that was built in the 1820s. I'm concerned for my clients and what my company has done to serve people with cancer, children who need emotional support, women who are struggling with domestic abuse, and veterans. As an emotional support organization that has been in the town of Princetown and also in Rotterdam since 2002, I ask you to please consider what happens on our street, what happens on our road is a peaceful thing. Keep it peaceful, keep it nature. Don't fall prey to a global energy company. And that's exactly who owns this project. Thank you.
Any others?
Jim Sobel, Rhinex Corners Road. I've spoken to private solar contractors. Most of them say they won't build north of Pennsylvania. So my question to you guys is, what reason would we have to put solar in New York State? You know, I mean, it's we have about 69 days of sun per year, okay, and then about 100 cloudy days, or mostly cloudy, and then the rest of the time it is raining and cloudy. So, you know, I don't see the sense of why we would install a solar complex again in the limited square miles that there already is other solar complexes. I was just wondering if the board has, you know, what is the Princetown board take on this? You know, what do you guys think about this solar thing? I hear you say you're gonna discuss, but what are you guys discussing? Where are you guys at with it? You know, there's a lot of people out here who've hung their life in your town, and you guys are representing them. You know, you referred to not engaging with them, but them is why you guys are sitting up there. Okay? So this them here is basically, you know, covering your butt. So are you guys gonna cover theirs? That's my question. But you're not gonna engage, are you?
Any others?
I have two different perspectives. One, assistant chief of the firehouse in Pattersonville. NFPA standards say that there's supposed to be signage on the gates with phone numbers and contact information along with other stuff. There has not been, and there still is not. I talked to the lady from CS Energy, the project manager, still nothing. They were going to give us training. They gave us training before they started their project 4 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever it was now. And at that time, we asked them to come back when it was done and show us what they actually had. Well, during the conversations here in the past few weeks, they said that they had already given us training, so they didn't have to give us any more, but they would, so long as it was in daytime hours time frame when they work. Well, we're a volunteer organization. All our line officers have jobs, and so they're not around until the evenings. So we're basically out of luck to try and schedule something like that. This is a problem. All right, now if we can put that aside, and a couple personal comments somewhat. At one of the last solar meeting, I think we had the review meeting, Mr. Esposito informed us that he had had a meeting with ELP, and that the reason they came into Princetown was because Rotterdam had the moratorium, they were dragging their feet, otherwise they wouldn't have come into Princetown. And he was pretty adamant about that. I might have heard it wrong, but I think that's basically the statement that he made at the end of the meeting. April 17th, when we were at the meeting with ELP with their proposals, I asked them, her name's Wendy, I don't know her last name, she's one of the primary principal partners in the company, if this was true. And she said absolutely not, that Alan Potts had approached them at the previous meeting they had a year ago and was interested in leasing land to them. So somebody's not telling the truth, and I'm not accusing you because ELP, just my example here is
Let
that
me correct you on this.
they're all
I shouldn't
telling
say that.
something
She's
different.
lying.
It could be,
She's lying.
it could be.
I was at that
Yeah.
meeting. She is definitely lying about this.
My-
Let me tell you this right now. I remember exactly what she said to me over there. They came into Princetown because they could not get this approved. They wanted to get the 20 megawatts, so they don't have to go through the town to get permits.
My point,
Everybody's coming here and you're blaming the town. We don't want this. We never wanted any of this. The state is forcing this on you. You're crying to the wrong people. You gotta go talk to your state legislators. We can't stop this. I don't want this. I believe it's the same thing. This stuff doesn't work out here. I'm telling you this. We did not want any of this. None of it. I don't want it. I don't believe in it. I think it's a pipe dream. They're shoving this down your throat. We can't stop this. That's why they went to 20 megawatts and they got Princetown involved in it. They told me that at that meeting. So they're lying to you, and if they want to come in here, I'll call them up and they can come in here and present that, what they did in Rotterdam when you had that meeting in Pattersonville. If they want to come and speak to everybody here, it's all well and good. They can come at any time they want.
My point,
The point is, I know exactly what I said to them. They're lying about it, and they spin this stuff. These people just do this just to get this pushed through. They're going through, now they're gonna call it eminent domain to confiscate land to do this. This is all in the state legislature that they just passed. Why isn't anybody going to your state? Go talk to these people that are representing you. We can't stop this. I think that this is a big pipe dream. These electric cars are pipe dreams. I believe this. I don't believe in any of it. There's a lot of people that do. Jack believes in it. That's his right to believe in it. I don't. I think everybody's made their point on this when we did this. This was forced on us. All of this crap is forced onto the towns and we can't stop it. They went to 20 megawatts because they didn't have enough over there and they didn't want to be bothered with Rotterdam. That's why they did it. They admitted that. They had no intention. That's why they brought the power in from Rotterdam into Princetown, over that hill over there on Sanborn Road. I know all about it. There isn't any power up there for all of these projects that everybody thinks is gonna happen. There isn't any. You gotta have three-phase. If anybody doesn't know about three-phase, there isn't any three-phase up there. You're crying to the wrong people. I'm on your side about this. This whole board was on our side about this. I don't understand that. And when that lady says that, I'll call her tomorrow and tell her that. That really upsets me. And I'm sorry about this getting upset. They're lying.
my point is, and that was my point, is that you don't know who to believe anymore. You can't believe the representatives from the solar company.
What's her name?
Wendy, I don't know what her last name is, but she's one of the principal partners.
Wendy DeWolf.
Yeah, DeWolf.
What is it?
DeWolf, DEWOLF. She's the vice president of ELP Rotterdam Inc., which, by the way, is no longer a Massachusetts.
Please, I beg every one of you, call your state legislators and complain to them. We can't stop this.
We have.
We can't stop it. You're telling us over here we want this. Why the 26 days, we are 29 days? I know that. This stuff we got out here doesn't work. We were sold a bill of goods years ago about this. What was our bill over here? $350 to National Grid, and what was the other one for? $100 and some odd dollars, $150 to the solar company. What the hell did we say? I remember them telling us, oh, they're gonna send you, well, some months we're gonna send you a check. Nothing could be farther from the truth. We're still waiting for the first check. This stuff doesn't work in this part of the country. Arizona, maybe it works. It doesn't work here.
Why they're bringing it here is because New York State.
They're pushing it. They want this.
There's
Go to the governor's office, call her up and tell her.
It's not productive here at all. Like you said, we don't have enough sun.
Call the governor's office, go get a bus, like I said last time, I'll go with you, and protest down there, like we did with the police, with Jack, to support the police department. We rented buses, we went down there, and we protested at the Capitol. That's what you gotta do. You wanna get attention, but these people don't care about it. They just putting this stuff, take a ride over on Route 67 coming out of Gloversville, and look at those solar projects they got on 67 going down to 5S. I could not believe it when I saw all of these things. They're lined up. The whole road is full of solar. Do you think them people wanted that over there in that rural community? No, they didn't want that. But they're forcing it on us. They're not gonna put it down in Westchester County or down on Long Island. They don't put those windmills down there, they stopped it. Did you see them putting it down on Cape Cod? The windmills? No, they stopped it. They don't wanna look at them. Shove it up in upstate New York. Them hayseeds up there, they aren't gonna say anything. That's what it's boiling down to. I don't understand, and I'm sorry I'm getting upset about it, but you're preaching to the wrong people about this. We can't stop it. You can put all of these rules on, every one that they tested, the courts have overruled them. Towns have taken this to court time and time again and have lost. What do you want us to do? I don't understand it. We can make these laws and they challenge it and it just goes through.
Well, they just make the project, they're encouraging the projects to be bigger and bigger, so they take it out of our jurisdiction.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing on Reynolds Corners Road. They're not, we can't stop that. We can put anything in there we want. They're gonna put it in. It's a done deal. I'll tell you that right now. They're not gonna stop this on that road. They came in there because they couldn't get it through Rotterdam, and so they put it up to 20 megawatts to bypass the town laws. That's what they're doing. And now they just put in a state legislature, they just came up with a whole bunch of others. Look it up, it's on the internet. They're changing all of these, eminent domain now. What do they call it?
Public service.
Public service.
If they consider it a public service, we're out of.
We're out.
Right, so, no one said this before, but, you know, even though some people on the solar committee, we have some different opinions, New York State still considers your local law when these projects go in.
That's fine and dandy, but they're gonna end up.
The
I mean,
setbacks,
we'll tweak it and do what we have to do with it.
Right.
They're laughing at, they're gonna laugh at us.
I know, but the setbacks on the Rotterdam side of this project were bigger than ours.
Yes.
Because our current law is only 50 feet.
Well, we can change stuff like that, that's not a
We
problem.
need to, it's the best we can do.
You need to fight it every step. Every step you need to fight.
And we can
Okay.
ban them, we could ban them as well, they're still
You
gonna
need
come
to
in.
fight, this is where you fight, okay? Otherwise, they're gonna run all over you. You gotta fight.
Well, you're gonna fight at the state level too.
The essence of government, where it all starts, is at the local level. And you've been hearing that all my life, and that's where it is. You come to these meetings like this because this is where we get to voice our opinion. Maybe we can go to the county and voice our opinions, but this is where it starts. And you guys up there, the way I understand it, are supposed to be fighting for what the town people want. So are you going, I'm not criticizing, really, my question is, are you going to those state people and saying, listen, this is what our townspeople are telling us? You know, we've tried to contact our local representatives and we get nothing, we get
We
crickets.
don't hear back.
We
Yeah.
don't hear anything.
So we don't know, you know, it's hard to fight this stuff, you know, when the county is pushing this.
Do you think they're gonna listen to me when I called them? They never returned my call.
But at least you have a little bit more.
I do. They don't return my call. I call them and they don't return my call.
No, I don't get callbacks either.
But, yeah.
He started out saying that they're breaking the law. You should be able to do something about that.
CS
Not
Energy's
even
broke the law
posting the
every
sign.
step of the way.
They're not posting the sign, they're
Every
trying to
step.
put out numbers. They get a hold of them.
Who enforces that? The fire departments don't, because we don't do enforcements. We don't even do inspections. And we're just there to put out the problem after the fact.
Without the training to do it.
Yeah. So who enforces this? Is the town supposed to enforce this? Does the state enforce it? Because they all just seem to be passing the buck. If you look at the project up on Florida Road, the High Rivers project, that is a beautiful project compared to what's going on 160. How is it that 160 is fine, and they've had numerous violations at the High Rivers project? It just doesn't make sense. You know, who's supposed to be enforcing this stuff? I put a complaint in, I had to do it in writing because I was told that the complaints had to be in writing now. I don't know if that policy is actually official or if it was just made up for me or what. I put that complaint in. I never got a verbal, or I got a verbal through the grapevine response. I never got a written response or anything like that. So I don't understand, you know, who's supposed to be enforcing this stuff? If nobody's enforcing it, then the laws don't do any good. When I talked to the lady from CS Energy, we don't have to inform the town when we go online. We can just do it, basically, is what she told me. So what good are the zoning? What good are all these rules that they put into effect? They can do whatever they want. So I just, it's very frustrating, and I'm sure you guys are frustrated too. But
I'm sorry I got upset about it.
Yeah, that's all right.
If somebody says I'm lying, that gets to me. I was at that meeting with Rotterdam.
But somebody's not telling the truth.
And I'll call this lady and tell her that too.
Yeah.
I do believe Alan Potts approached them and leased his land because of all the money he's making. He bought that property just to do this.
Thank you.
All right. Any others? upset about that.
We need you more upset, Lou.
Well, that's good poster.
Is there any others?
Thank you.
No others? We'll close public meeting up at, our privilege of the floor up at, 8:04. Okay, there's one other thing over here. I wrote down. Where was the gentleman that was complaining? Oh, Ryan's Corners. We, Tom Verini issued a red tag on that this week. We're well aware of that, and he's working on it. He put a red tag on it. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're gonna follow up on that. And he informed me today that he already did that, because I got the complaint. I don't know if it was from you that called me. But somebody called me and left me a message, and I got a hold of Tom. He's very well aware of that, and he's been up there, and he did put a tag on it.
Thank you.
I think he said he's giving him till the end of this week to contact him. You should have an update by the weekend or early next week. I think that's what he said. He's giving us a Friday.
The only thing is, the people around the area always come to me because I'm the oldest guy there. You know, and I don't like to take responsibility, but you try to help what you can.
No, we're well aware of that. He did put a tag on it. So, and I didn't know that he gave him until the end of the week.
Don't quote me on that, I don't know what he said, but there is a timeline that he said, I'm giving him this amount of time to contact me. I think he said Friday, and then maybe next Friday.
Okay. If there's nothing else, oh, yes,
I
go
got
ahead.
something.
Councilman, go ahead.
What's the name of that company?
Ellis Power.
All right, LS Power. I was up there Sunday. Nino Karate called me up.
It's out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Crystal.
I was up there and I looked at, they got that retention pond there. It's got an 18-inch pipe coming out of it. I didn't go up and trespass or look at the pond or whatever, but if it's maybe like the one on Ruger Drive, that 18 inches will run out. From what Ralph told me, Ralph says he's seen that pond full, highway superintendent. And it's coming out of this 18-inch pipe, and it wasn't raining or anything when I was there, but I'm looking at the grass, all the vegetation's laying down, it's like Niagara Falls is coming out of that pipe. It has nothing to do with the farm in the back. I walked the whole thing, that little swale that they got running between everybody's property, can't handle what's coming out of this pond. It's running across everybody's property, washing them out. Nino's driveway is washed out. His front yard, you can't even walk on it. The guy next door is running through his garage. I didn't get up around Francis's place, I don't know what he's doing there. But this needs to be fixed before they get a CO. Now Tommy says they have nothing yet. They need to dig a ditch. Where this pipe comes out, they need to dig a ditch 3 foot wide, 4 foot deep, all the way down to Route 20 to channel it so it goes where it's supposed to go. And then when it gets to Route 20, they're going to dig a 20-foot circle and bring this ditch into this side so it swirls, or it's going to, and it goes down 20 in the culvert. Otherwise, it's going to wash 20 out. Nature, water does not take a 90-degree corner, okay? You can't put a sign there and it says water go this way. All right, water wants to flow downhill, and if you channel it, they got all Settles Hill running in that pond, where it used to run across the whole field before and be dissipated. And it would dribble into Route 20 off the end of the road, you know? They got that coming out, I mean, it's gotta come out of there like a cannon when it comes out. The vegetation's all beat down, and eventually that vegetation's gonna get washed out. It needs to be fixed. Engineers need to redesign
That
something.
goes down to Route 20, that's a US highway, we don't have to get state permits for that.
They're gonna have to do something. It's already running down there, but it's washing everybody's place out on the way to get there. Route 20's got a concrete sluice way all the way down it, so it's not washing that out.
we'll get, have a meeting with Doug Cole about that.
Yeah.
Meet with him.
Yeah, I mean, well, they gotta do it, it's gotta be fixed, they can't leave that like that.
What time are you available in the morning?
Which morning?
Any morning,
No.
whatever,
I don't care, let me know. Schedule.
I'll get ahold of Doug Cole and we'll meet over here.
You agree, Dougie?
I know, it's dark.
Yeah, I went up there, looked at it, and they couldn't believe it. They, what the farmers, the girl did in the back is nothing. They already had a swale behind their yards, and that was their thing. That swale was for them. Now they got the whole hill running in there. You know, they can't just quit at that 18-inch pipe. They gotta continue their engineering. And like you said, it's gonna wash Route 20 right out if they do that. I know that. That's why they gotta engineer something. You gotta make it swirl when it gets down there, and it'll find its way down the road. Okay, that's it.
Okay, you got anything, Doug? Ben?
Comment on solar, those people.
We're here.
You guys know how I feel, I mean.
Okay.
It's just getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it here, and if we could stop it, we
What I
would,
mean,
you know?
you probably kind of overlooked some, but hey, it's just gonna continue.
Yeah, we're trying, you know, we tried to work together to update our solar law, even for state projects, because they take it into consideration, but unfortunately, it's been a little more challenging than I hoped it was going to be, but, yeah, I mean, if we could ban them and tell them to go somewhere else, we would. But unfortunately, we don't really have that authority.
You know, it sounds like you're gonna have to toughen the laws on some.
We try.
And
There is a big coalition forming. Stop all that. They just hired a high-end environmental attorney to fight this stuff. There's a lot of people that are banding together. And it's numbers that's gonna make the difference, but it's like they're saying, oh, it's gotta be at the state levels where the pressure needs to be. And they're just deaf to it. I was told a long time ago that engineers said that knew this, said that this will not work, and the state's doing it anyway.
you never get hopeful. Now, look at what you did to St. Clair's.
There's some municipalities that still don't have solar, and I don't know how they're pulling it off. Like, I work up in Galway.
You don't see any around Lake George, do you?
No, well, there's money. A lot of money, right?
They go to basically underprivileged areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause they can't
People who
fight
don't
back.
have the money, you know, they're spread out. The other thing that's funny is, I just heard this is a little side note. The Amish out west are all talking with each other, and so when somebody gets a proposal, they can't give somebody else a different proposal because they're telling each other what's going on. But when it comes to the regular farmers, they don't talk to each other, so one gets one deal, somebody gets something else, and they're all getting screwed, really.
Okay, is there a motion to go into executive session to discuss the state police rules? Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Jack Russo? Councilman Gray? Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Thank you all for coming.